Alright. So, that was my time lapse of playing as the mighty nation of Russia. I'm gonna go over some tips and tricks on how you can hopefully blob out and get a beautiful empire like this. And, or perhaps something even bigger. Who knows? So first off, there's always the nation start off. Muscovy is the obvious one. It's the easy one. They get some decent ideas to start off. I ended up switching to the normal Russian ideas, though whether you should switch to these or keep the Muscovite ideas is completely up to you. There are probably some good arguments to keep them, which it's arguably better in some way. I'm not really into that. I just kind of wanted the ideas because of the Siberian frontier, which we will get into in a bit. So yeah, there's also Novgorod, which is a bit of a harder start, but it is probably possible. Muscovy usually stomps from, so you're gonna have to get some strong allies if you don't want to be stomped like the AI usually is. There are also like the miners, like Ryazan, Odiev, one of Russia's vassals, like Pskov, which if you're filling up for a challenge, and if you're a DDR Jake level player, then you can go ahead and give it a try. But I would not recommend them myself, just from like me being able to play perspective. Now, so I went with Muscovy. Usually you can sometimes be screwed by them, because Denmark might go to war with you, and sometimes that ends up screwing me. So yeah, you should keep that in mind. Also Poland, or Poland and Denmark can end up allying and going after you. But luckily in my game, Denmark did rival me. They didn't really do shit. And Poland was actually weakened. They actually lost land to the Teutons, if you know some time lapse, and that managed I used the opportunity to go to war with them and take Smolensk, which is one of the provinces you need to form Russia. Thinking about what you need to form Russia, you need Muscovy, where is it? Moskva, which you start off already. You need either Smolensk or Kursk. I believe it's, yeah, either Smolensk and Ryazan. You need those two, excuse me. K's. And you also need either, I believe it's Yaroslav or either Rostov or Tver. I forget which one exactly, forgive me for not having it on me. But either of those you need. I believe you also need Novgorod as well, and you also need to be Admin Tech 10. So yeah, expansion is usually pretty easy. You can expand north into Novgorod. The AI usually never gets any alliances, though if you aren't quick enough, nations like Denmark can end up picking them off and take some of their land, or possibly nations like the Livonian Order. That's a very real possibility, so keep that in mind. There are also the hordes, which are pretty easy to deal with once you gain up a decent power base, but I will not go after them right off the bat. I'd wait. And there's also the push east that you can do, you know, the whole colonization game. That's made easier with the Siberian frontier ability, which came with the recent Third Rome immersion pack. Basically, you can colonize without having to go down expansion ideas in colonies. You just paid 20 diplo power and establishes a colony, and it builds it up slowly. So if you didn't know that, now you know. I do recommend getting the pack if you can, if you're considering playing as Russia, because it is a fun pack to play around if you have it. And I do kind of feel like I justified my purchase with this game, actually, because I had a bunch of fun with it. Mainly because I got to run to countries like Scandinavia that I never see before, Livonia. There was also Kurland before. It was fun to see. So yeah, after that, there are plenty of opportunities. Poland and Lithuania or future Commonwealth potentially. If you're powerful enough, you can take them on fine enough. The Ottomans are usually, as always, very a bit of a pain, but you probably will be able to get a power base large enough to remove the kebab. I didn't, because usually dealing with them is kind of a pain, and I just kind of want to focus on other things in this game. So yeah, you can always expand east with the stuff. You can go take over the hordes, like the Uzbek, the Kazaki. Do note though that with Mandate of Heaven, the tributary system will drag in Ming, so that's why I didn't go into these lands if you're curious. I ended up going after Buryatia, even though they are a tributary, because I allied Korea and they dragged me in to some of their wars so I can get some land. So that was that's a way you can get past it, get an ally who hates the guts of one of the nations you want to take over. That's what I did. And yeah, also, I actually did some colonizing in the New World. I usually don't really do this since I do not have the the El Dorado expansion, so that kind of makes it boring. But yeah, I have Alaska, the Alaskan colony, because I figure, it was historical. I may as well, stay somewhat historical. And I also kind of took over all of Mexico, most of Mexico at least. Russian Mexico. From what I checked, Mexico is kind of the Russian way of saying Mexico. Google Translate might have lied to me though, so do not take that with a word of salt. And if I am incorrect, I do apologize to that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I actually let the kebab go off a bit because I kind of want to focus more on the game here. The colonization game. Funnily enough, Scotland was kicked out of the British Isles and put here as their main operating base. You can see them right there, which I thought was kind of fun. They ended up being taken over by the French, though. So yeah, I started expanding here, and I took over some of the natives there. And eventually, I made this giant big blob. Liberty Desire is a bit high, so I kind of have some lower tariffs than I had before. Alaska has higher tariffs because they're too weak to do anything, though. So yeah, that's some of the fun. You can don't dismiss the colonization game just because they are all the way back there. They might not get to the east coast of America, of the Americas, but you can get to the west coast if you're quick enough. There's also actually an achievement that you can get if you take all the East Siberian coastline before the 1600s as any Russian nation, which unfortunately I kind of timed out before I could do that. Didn't do it quickly enough, sadly, but if you're feeling up to the challenge, that's always an opportunity. You also get an achievement for forming Russia. There's some Orthodox religion-related challenges that you can go for. That also reminds me, I have an Australian colony going, and I changed some of the provinces' names to be kind of vaguely Russian, but also kind of Australian. So yeah, this colony isn't done yet, so it's not really that impressive. But yeah, that's just something I thought might be interesting. Also, Leon is here. I thought was kind of cool. They're actually they've been kicked off out of mainland by Aragon, which ended up dominating the Iberian Peninsula, go figure. And yeah, Europe is just a clusterfuck. It looks horrible, but it kind of looked worse. Prussia was all over the place and like horrible. It was just border gore galore. So yeah, it was a lot worse. Trust me on that. So yeah, I gave the expansion tips. I'll go over some basic stuff. Government. Oh, these came with third Rome, so I'm not gonna go too much into that. But they give some nice benefits. The Stressly, how it is. They are pretty badass units, and you're gonna want to get them. Though they do raise your stability boost cost, so keep that in mind. This is my diplomacy screen. If you're curious for the allies, I have Scandinavia, Austria, and Korea, rival to the Ottomans and Ming. I'm also, by the way, the greatest great power in the world. Not by the largest margin, actually by a pretty big margin. Just have to worry about the damn Enlightenment not being observed. This is my tax screen, all my income. If I turn my maintenance down, 61 ducats a turn. I keep it max though. Trade, don't really do too much with trade though. If you are good at that and interested, you can look to that. Tech, pretty much caught up or very on tech, which I am proud of. These are my ID groups. Religious, because I figured I was dealing with a bunch of damn dirty Sunnis down here, so I would have to convert their land over. Quantity, to get more manpower, because this is Russia after all. Diplomatic, I didn't really go down it, actually, which might have been a good idea, because the diplomatic ideas tree has some pretty good ideas, especially this. Offensive, which is usually good track. Exploration, which if you want to go colonizing, is a definite, at least outside of the Siberian expansion. And innovative, which I recently discovered is actually a really good tree. The prestige decay is pretty good. The scientific revolution is amazing. So if you're going to play it, consider that. Mission decisions, not really interesting there. By the way, AE, I actually didn't have a problem with once I started blobbing off. Like, don't take insane amounts. Like, I could take really as much as I reasonably could, worrying more about overextension than I did about aggressive expansion eventually at some point. So keep that in mind. Though make sure to keep an eye on the rebels. I actually have more. I am actually pretty well. I don't have to worry about rebels except in my colony in Mexico. So yeah. There's also religion. Converted all my empire to Orthodox. Military, 255 men. I have a 364 force limit, though I haven't built up to it. I probably should, but I believe I have the strongest military anyway, or second. I think Ming's might be bigger than mine, but yeah. Subjects, I showed this a bit off before, but Russian Mexico and Alyeska. And the states, not sure if this is really interesting, but this is how it is. Alright, yeah, that's pretty much it, as long as I think of. If you guys have any more questions about this campaign that I did, I'll be willing to fill you in the comment section below, if you haven't any questions, of course. Or if you have any feedback or suggestions for me or this channel. I have not been posting a lot recently, but I usually do Hearts of Iron 4 content and other strategy games. I'm planning on doing a Hearts of Iron series soon, though I haven't managed. I haven't had the time or the energy to do it. But I'm hoping that'll change. So yeah, I also do plan on doing more of these like time-lapse and strategy guide videos of EU4 in the future. Maybe eventually a full-blown series, though I don't know how good I am at a long-term series, how good I will be. I'm not a very good EU4 player. At least I don't think so. I have far too many problems. Like, I'm not good yet. I don't know how everything works quite yet, so I don't know if that'll be interesting to watch, though. If it is, feel free to tell me, and I will consider doing a series. So yeah, if you want to see any of that content in the future, or if you have any suggestions outside of that, then you can go ahead and leave that suggestion in the comment section below. Or not that. But yeah, you can subscribe to my channel if you want to see any of that content. That's what I was trying to say. There we go. Yeah, if you want to support me financially, I have a Patreon link down in the description below. I don't make ad revenue off my videos, so this is pretty much the only... Patreon is the only way I can make any money. I have some reward tiers, but I am working on making better. But so if you want to support me financially, you can go ahead and do that in the comment section below. Though if you don't, I completely understand, and I get it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. My name has been Doggoat333, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.